Well, theoretically, this could be a 10-minute video. So we're on box 46 again from the gentleman in Sheffield. It's a brand new Thunderpole T3000. So he sent 6 sets, and we did his Comtron CB40. That's come back off Mr. Chippy's bench, having had the transmit LED swapped. So one of the new sets he sent him for optimisation is his Thunderpole 3000. And the reason I've pulled this out, especially, is there seems to be some people saying that these overheat. Now, we used one as a base station for a year, and it never overheated for us. So I'd like to know, under what circumstances do they overheat? Do they overheat if you put them in an oven and transmit, or do they overheat when you're just normally using them? Now, any two-way radio, this goes for business radios as well, is they're 5%, what's the phrase, duty cycle. So something like 5% transmit, 15% receive, and the rest of the time on Squelch standby. So if you're going to transmit for more than 5%, then it's quite possible that any set is going to overheat, because they all are made with the same rules, unless they are specific base stations. And we're now talking about business radios, where some of the base stations are 100% duty cycle. So we will take some parameters, and they're a bit fiddly to put back together, these. I could just give it the customer in bits to get put back together, but I didn't have any. We've had quite a few of these come through for optimisation, and so there you go. But it did strike me, it could be people who are tweaking these up beyond the legal limits and then they overheat. Well, that's not the radio's fault, is it? It's this horrible kind of plastic. It's the kind of plastic that the person behind you in the cinema would have all the way through the film. Oh, I need the power lead, don't I? Yes, Mr. 21. In fact, I can't think I've any moans about any Thunderpole sets. So it's 12 to 24 volts, this one. Got a supplementary deviation meter on my left, whilst we don't have the one on the main instrument working properly. So one of the things about these is that they do exactly what they should do when you go through the band selection. So it's set for UK. You press the band, it goes to EU. It says it's FM. Press it again, it's EU AM. You press it again, it's UK, which of course is FM. So no faffing about. Once you've set it to UK, it does what it's supposed to do, and I really think that's good. Buying sets even today which don't, which is why I'm not buying them anymore. Right, this business model of having every set ever produced started in 1982, and it was Christmas. I made the decision that a lot of the sets are so poor that I'm just not spending any money on them. So at the moment he's doing above 3 watts. Do 3.1. I'm going to do this optimisation on channel 40 CPT, but he's going to use the CPT set of channels until he finds that they're unusable. So we're going to do, what I'm going to do is put channel 1 CPT, channel 1 UK, and channel 40 UK. So that way we're looking at 26.965, 27,791, 60125, and 27,99125. So we've got a fair spread. So we'll just, and I can do this so easily. So channel 1, EU, .11. UK, channel 1, 3 watts. Channel 40 UK, 2.95 watts. And that's kind of what you'd expect, because it's easy to generate the lower frequencies than the higher ones. There isn't low power because it's a CE-MultiNorm, it's no longer a requirement. And the transmit current, we'll go to channel 1, is 1.67. It's a modern set, so it's going to take a lot more power than an older set, which is absolutely bizarre, but because of the CPUs and that. We're going to look at the deviation. It's going to mean absolutely nothing if the meter's not working right. I'm going to do that on channel 20, and it saves me resetting the deviation meter, which is manually tuned. Wallow. So wallow. So at the moment, it's reading. I'm going to put 1.5 just for now. Obviously we're not doing VCO, and the frequency. If we go over to that. Oh, I'm not on picture in picture. That was me this time. I want it there. There we go. So where were we? 1, 2. So I'll just show you the power. We're above the 3 watt scale. It's 3.0. Right. Frequency. Let's go over to the frequency counter. .27,79138. That's absolutely fine. It's slightly high. These drop down with age. Let's see where the receiver is. So I'm going to put 1 microvolt on. The meter on these is non-adjustable. What do you need to get? What do we actually have to put on? Let's go over to the attenuator. Let's see what you actually need. So S9 is 1.5 millivolts. RF meter means absolutely nothing at all. So if I press transmit, it'll probably give a full set of bars, which it does. If I took the output transistor on it out of it, it will still read a full set of bars. It means absolutely nothing. But I'll tell you what, let's put the power supply down to 9 volts. See if the radio will still work. So we're now on 9 volts. Will it transmit? I'll put this on the back on the power meter on the 3 watt scale. It will transmit, and at 9 volts this radio will still give, when I get a reading, 2, 3, it's doing half a watt, and look, the meter on it still sits there with a full set of bars. So that's how meaningless they are. Back to 13.8 volts. Back to there, and Kia whacking across, and still a set of full bars. Right, we'll plug in the test instruments into the extension speaker socket. Look at the cyanide meter, which the poltergeist seems to have moved. More Squelch has come in. So for 12 dB cyanide, this radio is doing it 0.34 microvolts. For 10 dB cyanide, this radio is doing 0.28, and for 3, it's doing, just checking I'm in the right mode. I'm good at getting these switches in the wrong place. 0.68. So, it blooming well is. It's 0.68. That's incredible. So, Squelch. What we're going to do, we're going to put auto Squelch as well in extra box. None of this is adjustable when we reconnect the cigarette lighter plug. I have to get a bigger crocodile clip for when the cigarette lighter plugs. It just tells me that they don't expect you to put a permanent CB in. Right, so I'm going to turn the Squelch to full. Let's see where that is. It is 10 millivolts. At least it opens. Turning that down, turn the signal generator to 0.3 and then put it to standby. Set the Squelch on the radio to threshold. Put the signal generator back on. 0.34 microvolts. And let's put the auto Squelch on. It's 1.8 microvolts, which is, it's fine. It's as you'd expect. So meter lamp's okay, switches are okay. Potentiometer sound doesn't have one of those. That works. I haven't tried this. Oh, we have tried the speaker. Good. So really, I think it's just a matter of doing the deviation. So we'll get it opened up. So this is hardly above ambient temperature, and I've had this in transmit for repeated different tests. Now when we looked at the Jopix one, which looks very similar to this, it doesn't work like this. It's not, when you put it into UK, it doesn't seamlessly go through all the different modes which are available, and you have to awkwardly reset it for EU or whatever to do that. So don't think you're saving money, unless of course you don't ever want to use CEPT, because I have done it before and it's in the back catalogue for the Jopix. Now, does this open up the opposite way to you think? Right, so on EU channel 40, I've got to push those buttons, so I'm going to be dazzled by these LEDs. We'll key up. So just out of interest, that's 4 watts. Oh, I'm not even showing you it. I'll just turn that back down to where it was. So the high power preset is already at full whack, so we're adjusting it on the 4 watt preset, and that's the where we get the 4 watts. If you take it up to full, it's 4.8 watts. So we'll take it back down to 4. That's not what I said I'd do. I've gone and done it on CPT 40. I said I'd do it on UK 1. Let's try again. There we go. So we've got 4 watts, UK channel 1, channel 40 UK, we've still got 4 watts. I could say 3.999, but we've got 4 watts. And then CPT channel 1, we've also got 4 watts. So amazingly, that's balanced out really well. So let's go back to channel 20, channel 1 UK. Current consumption is now 1.85. Out of interest, I wonder what it does in AM. And the answer is it still does 4 watts. Good. So if I just tune this in, I would do this on channel 40 for the modulation for AM. So we're looking for, yeah, we're on the right meter. There's no fault on the AM on this test set. We just need to tune it in. And obviously disconnect the extension speaker. There we are, tuned in. So we're in AM mode. Wallow. That's actually beyond 90%, so it actually needs to come down. Now I've lost all my little thingies, and I'm being dazzled. Where's our oscillator? Wallow. That's 92%. I don't expect it's going to want to play ball on FM. Wallow. Would help if I'm in an FM. Wallow. So I'm going to have to plug this into a different test instrument, which is on the bench behind me. So we're now using the quartz lock radio telephone test set. Wallow, wallow. Wallow, wallow. You know, it actually looks right on there. 2.2 on there. So I'm now hooking it up to a ray call 1, which is on my left. So we've had an opinion from the quartz lock one, which isn't an instrument I use much, so I don't have faith in the readings, even though it's not faulty, if you can understand that. So I'm just going to have a look at this other one. Wallow. It's going to have to be... we actually plugged in right. So, yep. It's going to have to be on channel 20 UK for this. Wallow, wallow. Just think we're going to pull it up a tiny bit. If I have those in my eye, I just cannot see a thing. If I was having to work on these day in day out, I'd have to make a wooden clamp to hold them. Because you're kind of propping it up with one finger and adjusting things with two others. Wallow. And now we'll just check it with this one. The one that's not playing ball. Wallow. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Wallow. Wallow. 1 2 1 2. Wallow. Yeah, there's 1.5 on there. Right, so there's nothing we can adjust on receive. There's nothing under this board. We've had that out before. But just in case you haven't looked at my previous videos on the Thunderpole 3000, and this has been in transmit quite a time, and it's not much above ambient temperature. Just for giggles, I'll remind myself what is under this board. I don't remember these being as sensitive as this, but this is exceptionally good. I'm glad I took that out. So as you can see, chances are that's the driver transistor for the PA. I may be wrong. You can see it's not adjustable. Good. Clearly a hefty transistor soldered there. Right, I'll have the fun of putting it back together. So in conclusion, got this on the aerial now. Have a flick around the channels. 19 Roger. Now. Anything on CPT? Nineteen Roger. And that's why we can't use it, because there's foreign interference. So there you go. I'd probably get a mile up the road and that would overpower us. See if there's anything in the AM mode.
And he still works. He has a pension from 65.
Oh, there you go. So if you're into that kind of thing, which I'm not, there you are. Today is one of those days when there's a bit of a lift on and the EU channels might be for you. But they're not for me. So thanks very much, and I hope you enjoyed that little tune-up.